Lido Communications. How are you? Happy April. I can't believe it. I can't believe it's April. So this month is Workplace Conflict Awareness Month, and that is a mouthful. And it's also something that's really hard. Really hard. Like, who likes to deal with conflict? Not this girl. Absolutely not this girl. I hate it. I hate it more than anything. There are times that it's like, is it easier to just assume a new identity or deal with this conflict? And the answer is never assume a new identity. In case you were wondering, don't assume a new identity. So we're going to go through a few common areas of conflict. Our first topic of choice is time off. Oh, this is a big one. And I have seen it so many times in my career. So many times in my career. So, well, time off is great. Like, everybody gets time off, right? What's the conflict? Sit down, buckle your seatbelts, and hold on, because it's going to be a bumpy ride. Here's where the conflict comes in with time off. One, requesting time off and making sure that you get the time off and there's no conflict with time off. Okay, so let's think about that. Also, let's talk about coverage while somebody is out of the office. That's a big one. So, okay, first up, time off, requesting time off. If you have two people who all are, everybody wants the same time off, like a lot of times between that week between Christmas and New Year's, a lot of people want time off because they're spending time with their families, or there's really popular times such as a Friday before Monday holiday, those sorts of things, day after Thanksgiving, if you're open. There are hot days that people want off, and more than one person's going to want it off, or multiple people are going to want it off, and they can't all have it. If they can't all have it, how do you decide who gets it? So first of all, let's talk a little bit preventative, okay? You really, for one, need to talk to people, your staff, your employees, whatever, on who cannot be off at the same time because they back each other up. Okay, so that's a conversation that you need to have so everybody's aware. If Susie and Sally work in the same department, then Susie and Sally, depending on what they do, might not be able to be out at the same time. And Susie and Sally both need to be aware of this. This is a conversation that people need to have more than once, even. Like, sometimes you have it when they hire in and then people forget about it. But I think you really need to be an ongoing conversation just as a reminder. So then that's the first thing that you do. Second thing that you need to do, and again, this is preventative to help you prevent conflict, is making sure that you have a clear time off request policy. I can't just sit at my desk and go, oh, I am so taking that day after Thanksgiving off. I am not going to be here. Or you tell your manager, I'm not going to be here the day after Thanksgiving. Okay, because then somebody goes into the time off request and requests it, and now I don't get the day after Thanksgiving off because I never really requested it. People are going to get honked off. Oh my gosh, people get so mad because of, like, well, I told you I was taking this time off. Well, but you didn't really request it. And if it's not in the system, if it's not been requested, reviewed, and approved, I'm sorry, it doesn't count. It doesn't count. So make sure you have a clear way for people to request time. Now, that doesn't mean that you need to have a fancy time tracking calendar system, but is it sending an email to the supervisor? Is it filling out a form? Is it and turning it in for the supervisor to review and approve? So whatever that process is, make sure that one, it's working, and two, you're tracking, and people know, three, people know how to use it. So people are going to be mad. They're going to be mad at the person that took the time from them, meaning the person that actually got the time that they wanted to have. The manager that didn't approve it or didn't let them have the time. And actually, they're just going to be really mad at general and frustrated. So you really need to have that policy in place so that, like, hey, if you want this, don't just say it, you got to do something about it. Okay. Also, so we're talking about that request policy, making sure that everybody knows how to request it. The next thing is, what if you have two people that want the same time off and they both request it and maybe the requests come through like they're supposed to? Who gets the time? All right, so here's the deal. You can do this one or two ways, and there's no right or wrong answer, but there's just got to be an answer. That's exactly what I say, is there's just got to be an answer. And that answer is either you do it by seniority or you do it by who asked first. Now, these days, it's really more common to do it by who asked first, but there's really not anything wrong with doing it by seniority. It's just a little bit more challenging, but whatever way you do it, you need to do it that way and stick with it. Okay. So that's coverage. That's requesting time off, or dealing with those sorts of conflicts. Now we're going to talk about coverage. And this is not necessarily a policy as much as a best practice that you want to make sure that you're implementing in your organization. Somebody's taking vacation time. Say they're going to be out a week. Say they're going to be out a day. It doesn't matter. There's always going to be stuff that probably needs to be done while they're out, right? It's just happened. That's just life. It's business. So there's going to be somebody needs to do it. When that person is planning for time off, they need to make sure that they are communicating with the person that's going to do their tasks while they're out. And really, because what happens is, if that person doesn't realize that somebody's going to be out, they're going to have to be doing these tasks, there's nobody's been checking with them, it's just rude. Okay. Can I say that? It's kind of rude. So you want to make sure that you're opening up those clear lines of communication that, hey, Sally, I'm going to be out. So could you please take care of this, this, and this? This you probably don't have to worry about. I'll take care of that when I get back. Thank you very much. I couldn't do it without you. That's all it's got to be. But if I'm going to be out and Sally's my backup and I don't ever tell her that I'm going to be out, she doesn't know how to adjust her workflow. And she's going to be ticked. And she's not going to be happy with me when I get back from vacation because I didn't talk to her. I didn't communicate with her, and I didn't basically check with her. You don't have to ask that person for permission, but you need to treat their time and their workflow with the amount of respect that they deserve because they're covering for you. And these are all things that you need to make sure that you're covering as a best practice or in your policy. Okay, so time and attendance, I'm going to tell you, nothing will honk people off quicker. I've seen it so many times. They're not getting the time that they want or feel like they're being taken advantage of. So that's it, Lytle Communications. If you want more Lytle Communications and you want to know more about how to make your organization rock, check out our sheet, our e-guide this quarter. We'll give you all the policies that you need to have in your workplace to make you a rocking employer. Have a great one, and we'll catch you again soon here in this space.